Right now, one of the biggest issues facing London property, and one that a lot of buyers underestimate, is service charges. For a long time now, I've seen service charges reaching 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 a year, or even more. And what that's doing is fundamentally changing the way that people assess a flat purchase. So in this video, I want to break down what service charges are, why they've increased so much, and what it means if you're considering buying a flat. Put simply, a service charge is the cost of maintaining and running the building. So it might include things like cleaning, lift operations, gyms, spas, concierge and porters, and probably and most likely some kind of contribution to a reserve fund or a sinking fund. The key point here is that it's not an optional payment. If you own the flat, you have to pay it. What's really changed over the course of the last few years is the level of these costs. And what that's doing is fundamentally changing the way that people assess a flat purchase. It's not just general inflation. What we're seeing is considerable increases to building insurance, higher energy costs. There's also additional compliance requirements. It seems as though more or less every year there's more and more red tape. And in some cases, or a lot of cases actually, this might be linked to cladding issues on the building. So what this means is even buildings that were relatively affordable to run historically are now a lot more expensive. The impact of this is quite significant because from a buyer's perspective, it does have an effect on what you can afford. Because when you combine mortgage payments, service charges, insurance and any other costs, this is all going to contribute to the monthly outgoings. In many cases, a higher service charge might have the same effect as a higher interest rate. For investors, of course, the impact is even more direct. A high service charge will reduce your net yield, so a deal that might look acceptable on the surface might be less desirable once you factor in these costs. If you're buying a flat, there's a few things you might want to consider. What is the current service charge level? Has it been increasing? Whether there's a reserve fund or a sinking fund? And finally, whether any major works are expected. Because all of these factors will have a significant impact on the cost of ownership. What we're starting to see here is a significant shift in the way buyers are thinking. It's no longer just about the purchase price, they're really factoring in all of these additional costs, and quite rightly. Running costs are becoming much more of a bigger part of the decision process. So service charges are now one of the important factors to consider in the London property market particularly. And if you don't factor them in properly, it's very easy to overestimate the value of the property. If you found this video useful, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.